Hold the print up.
Now, is it? Oops.
There are 3 random.
Yep, it's recording.
I need to admit somebody. Where is it?
Oh,
That's fun.
Yeah, so. and one.
Can you see where there's somebody waiting?
so if she started the meeting, she would be able to see who's waiting
Both lines together.
because you joined her meeting, correct?
Little bit
Is that
about
what
it.
happened?
I don't know.
You know, I thought she'd be the odd person.
It said there were people waiting.
Actually, shows on the screen. So
You're
you're,
people.
That's the age I taught, 8 to 10-year-olds.
Circulation, library organizer. Where's Lydia Cup?
I don't know. I don't know why I'm in there.
Because you're the administrator. I don't see anybody here, but
It's been recording for.
So that money, that just go into education, about pretty later. You know.
All right. Awesome.
yes.
Okay.
She's been right at Lily, which is here in Barrington, right next to Barrington Village. They were both at Barrington Village for a bit, and there was some issues there, and
Can you hear us, Lydia?
then Lily
Yeah.
got kicked.
Okay.
She's grandma city.
Grandma, fun.
Her grandkids are doing this. So it's.
Easy, easy, bro, I'm just back in the line right now for you. And then like that, like.
All right, so I think I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at 5:37. And I wanted to start with a quick update regarding the officer assignments. So we've been struggling to find someone to fill the secretarial role. And I happened to have a meeting with Connor, just to kind of, we were connecting about being the chair and kind of just getting started and talking about working together. And his suggestion, and it's apparently this is something that some of the other town groups have done, is you know, if we can't find someone to be the secretary, then the person that's being paid to be there should be the one taking the notes. And I kind of agree with that, but I also feel like Lydia also already does so much to get us ready for these meetings. So what Lydia and I discussed, and hopefully you guys will be agreeable to this, is that I would basically be kind of keeping notes about the meeting using this great template that Lydia made. And then she's going to type them up after the meeting, and she and I will kind of make sure that the minutes get done. So that is the workaround that we've come up with, but I do feel like I want feedback, and I think we should vote on it, certainly, so.
I'm sorry that I'm not willing to step up, having done my share and having hearing issues now. But I'm sorry to give you guys extra work. And I'm curious because Doug is chair of the Conservation Commission. They have a paid secretary.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it comes out of the conservation budget. This stuff didn't think, he said he's never heard anything about it being taken out of me.
Well, how do they take her that person?
Say what?
How do they pay them then?
Or it can't be the town because Connor would know. He would have said it.
Of course you are, yes.
So you heard of AI
Mm-hmm.
and your phone on and record the meeting,
Yes,
and ask AI to condense that into a 1-page set of notes. And if you like it, go with it. If you don't like it, you can use it as you.
yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I feel like, I'm hoping that we can kind of just figure out, and it might take the next few meetings to kind of figure out what's going to work. Certainly, we're using Teams, so there is a recording already that we can access if we need to. I'm gonna simply
Transcribed it.
yeah, I'm just gonna be jotting down basically like who, presents a motion and who seconds the motion, that type of thing. But I feel like the majority of the wording is gonna be able to be pulled out of the treasurer's report, the director's report already. But yes, I like that suggestion too. It's just an easy, or it's an additional resource. Yeah.
But you could still amend it any way you want,
Yes, exactly.
but that would take a lot of the work of having done it for 7 years.
Right. Lydia C, what are your feelings on this?
I mean, I think I guess I would agree with what Carolina was just saying. That, I mean, I feel badly that the two of you have to do that. But I don't know, like, I guess the only other is that we take turns doing it. I don't know. But I mean, I think that's certainly a solution, but I feel badly that you two have to do extra work also. So
I mean, are you guys all on board if we just kind of agree that for now, we're gonna give this a try, see how it works? If we need to change it again, if we need to figure out something else, we'll figure that out, but later kind of give it a month or 2 or 3 and see where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think we probably should just vote on that real quick, just so that we have it in writing. So
Make a motion that, for Secretary Notes. Melanie. See why I don't want to be secretary.
And the Melanie and Lydia will share the note taking, and
Did you say the AI part?
I don't know, do we want to explore the AI part? Do we want to do this for a little bit? And then if it's, how do we want to handle that?
well, I think, yeah, maybe we try the AI part of the next meeting,
Okay.
if we'll, just because tonight it's probably too late to get that started, so why don't we'll do it this way tonight.
Yep.
Next meeting, we'll try incorporating in the AI and then we'll go. All right, so I'm gonna
That's
put,
why I got confused.
Yep.
okay. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I appreciate both of you.
First, okay. All right, so that's that part. Do I have any public comments? No? Moving on. Approving the public meeting minutes of March 17th meeting. Any changes or amendments that need to be made? No, they're good as written? Right.
I make a motion to approve the public meeting minutes of March 17th, 2026.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Right. And I did modify the format a little bit tonight, just so that our guest Roger does not need to sit through the entire meeting. So Roger, you are up for their foundation report.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I have a little thing to share with you that's not part of where the foundation is, except to let you know that I am in the midst of writing a book about the foundation, about the library's history. And Rebecca Rule's daughter, Addie, is an editor. And so she's right now editing it. But having said that, I was over at the Kittery Community Center this Monday night. And looking for a place to sit down and read as my wife with a women's choir was doing some singing there. And the young lady up front said, well, why don't you just go out here to the gallery and see nice pictures to look at. In the gallery are like 42 portraits painted by one artist. And then going around and it's very well done. It turns out that these 42 women whose pictures are there are all recipients of the Nobel Peace Prize. And so the last one that I came to, what was actually the first one, but I started at wrong end, was a lady by the name of Emily Green Balch. Now, Balch doesn't move you, that's him. The Reverend Benjamin Balch was the third pastor of the First Congregational Church in town. And in 1795, he and Major Isaac Waldron, the Isaac Waldron shooting range out there, named in his honor. Those two guys got together. Isaac Waldron lived down here where we have the summer concerts. And his house was torn down about 2015 or 16. He and his family are buried back up in the woods there. It turns out that my imagination was piqued at this lady who won the Nobel Peace Prize, whose name is Emily Balch, and she won this in 1946. So I started researching it. It turns out that she is the great niece of Benjamin Balch. They both are descended from John Balch, who was born in England, Somerset, England, came over and had a farm of sorts in Jamaica Plains or downtown Boston back in the 1500s. And so Benjamin Balch is the fourth generation from that John Balch, and Emily is the ninth generation. What a piece of fun that was for me. Here's her picture. It was a phone photo on a printer that likes to make things pink rather than anything else, but that is her. Glad to be here. I have
That's exciting.
made this. My heart beat faster from that. What I'd like to do is first is tell you that I remain the president or chairman of the foundation. I've been there since 2019, April 2019. Cindy Hoisington is vice president. Some of you know, it's your former chair, Susan Gadiello, is now our secretary. And our treasurer is Beth Brockett. Diane St. Jean is our esteemed, talented graphic design person. I thought I would just brief you on our goals. And I want the minutes to reflect not my comments, not the stuff that's on that paper, because we're still in the process of manufacturing, fine-tuning what we would like to do. But one of our primary goals is to find a way to create a sustainable financial infrastructure for the library that has both some flexibility and some independence from voter initiative type things. It has seemed obvious to me over the past 7 or 8 years, as it did even this past March, that counting on vote to always support library initiatives, even things that are not creative initiatives, but just operating kind of things, is not something that we can fully depend on. So that idea of trying to pull this a little bit back to the foundation, having a responsibility to come up with some money for 2 different parts of the infrastructure. One would be just operational finances. And I do know that the Friends have helped enormously over the years with some of the things that they've done, raised money for. Beth Brockett, our treasurer, is the chair of the Friends now. And I know that she and they are also in the process of putting together kind of a plan for them. I suggested that in that regard, and Melanie and I had a meeting a couple of weeks, 10 days ago, thinking that maybe on a biannual or perhaps even a quarterly basis, the chairs would get together. Lydia would certainly be invited to sit down and just see where we are. there's a lot of activity going on, a lot of different heads in the game, and it would be good if we had some synchrony to what we're doing. And so that's something that is on the table to be looked at more formally when you guys and the friends kind of get themselves together. The second part of the infrastructure is to create an endowment. And usually the first question people say, well, how big is the endowment going to be? Well, I don't know. I do know that at the present, we have about $350,000 committed to an endowment. That's not money in the bank yet, but it's promised. While we get our own guidelines and how we're going to curate this money and so forth. I talked to David Renson downtown and they're happy to help us with the investment part of it. That is something that again is, Susan has suggested that there probably are some political things we just need to be aware of and a little bit cautious about figuring out that. And she's got an antenna out that's higher than mine on that. And so that's one of the reasons why I'd like to sort of keep the details of it that are not really set and kind of in the graphs. Endowments work by taking in a sum of money and investing it and using only the interest off of that to help with managing annular things that come up in the way of finances that you use. So if you have, and usually they're suggesting that about 5%. So if you had $100,000, you can have $5,000 a year that would come off of that. If you had $1 million, it would be $50,000 a year. And however it works out, it does offer at least another avenue of finance for the library to depend on a bit. Fundraising is something we're still interested in doing. We've got 2 fundraising to nonprofit organizations that have provided grants to us before and have said that they're willing to do that once again. And so we've got that along with Giving Tuesday, which is I think the first Tuesday in December, was a great one last year. We brought in about $33,000 in that particular moment, and but we had a really big target. So what's important for a lot of this, as we think about rolling it out into the public square, is to have some pretty good ideas about the kinds of things that are kind of capital reserve things, but also things that are programs you'd really like to do if you just had money for an author and whatever. Fence out here, and I talked about that. Things that would be fun for a library to have out here, gazebo or story time. So that's the dream that we're working with, and we're trying to put it down on paper to have it make sense and make sure that people who are affected by it are going to have to say it down. The second thing, which is something that really stems out of 2023, summer of 2023, is to look at this building as a model for the town of energy sustainability. And there are lots of things about this building, not just the panels that can be seen, but lots of things about this building that were put together with the Resilient Building Group in Concord, with the Energy Committee here in town, as well as with the Bowen folks that were the construction managers and S&P Architecture. All were sitting around the same table talking about the same goals. So using that as kind of in a sense, a template to think about seminars or meetings that we have here by the community is one of our other goals. I've joined the Energy Committee, and my vice president is president of the Energy Committee, so we have an in there. And we have some long-term, Dr. Bogan and others in there that are similarly committed. So that's where we are as a foundation.
Oh, there's something. Place to be.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
As far as the immediate impact library operations fund, I think you'd be competing with friends as far as raising money for the need. You concentrate this on the sustainability fund and let them take care of the immediate needs rather than.
That's a good point. We talked that one over. And I wanted to have Beth and the friends who are really just reshuffling the cards and getting themselves back together, a chance to sort of respond to that. Same question, same idea.
I'm thinking like friends are asking, well, you're asking me for immediate things and. What do I do to do?
Well, and ever so insightful, the question will come up. You guys do, you got $3 million library, yeah, how's your digging for money again? I mean, I don't want to seem that way, but by the same token, the reality says, if you can't give, $7,000 to $10,000 for capital reserve for technology, that's not a place we can go to and be turned down year after year. So I want to be sensitive to that.
Pretending you got a brand new library, we didn't need anything else for a while.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, no,
Maybe for the first year or two, I don't know how they're gonna do it. And people who support the library understand that and will give, and people who don't like the library, don't think we need a library, which I don't quite understand that, but.
Yeah.
Oh, so.
Yeah. No, it's an excellent point and one that is forefront on our agenda as we were talking about this. Very sensitive point.
Well, the reason why we came up with the strategic technology long-term plan for replacing that was because we replaced everything all at once and we don't want to have to do that.
Right. That
So we're trying to make sure we budget it so that it's manageable, but at the same time, responsible. So we're not having to go to the town and say, oh, well, we have $30,000 worth of technology that's.
Town should be used to that because we've been doing that for capital reserve for the fire trucks and the police and every place else for years. So it's not like a new concept. I think the problem is the challenge is that, it's brand new, so why didn't you think right away? Yes.
Well,
I understand your
when
point.
we
I'm
moved
just
in
saying
here,
this.
we didn't replace every single thing, like our barcode scope scanners. The smaller stuff
Right.
that's still working. Those are the things that need to be replaced
Mhm.
within the next couple of years.
Right.
So we want to be able to go to the Friends or the foundation if our funding doesn't come through to be able to stick to that plan.
We maybe need to do a better job of marketing it, or maybe need to write, I don't know if people read letters to the editor anymore, but just people write and explain why we need it and why it makes sense to do a little bit at a time. I mean, most people don't plan on going vacation, don't save any money for it, and now all of a sudden, the month they're gonna go, take it out of that month's income. They
Yeah,
save up
that's
for it,
not-
so.
I think after the results of the last election and when we saw other things that were turned down as well as ours,
Yeah.
the town and Climate has realized that they need to do a lot more education around those issues before the election. That they thought they were doing really well with, but it needs to be more specific.
Well, also people in the economy think, well, if it's, everything else is going up, I can't afford to. And my taxes go up also.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where a lot of things came together at that time, but it wasn't just the library.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think the town is trying to think of how they can educate people better before the next election.
That happened back in 2008 or 9 when we had that recession. Everything got turned down. We had the 5,000, it was either $3,000 or $5,000 request for that. And somebody got up and asked Amy, who's the library at the time, is that going to be enough? She said, I don't know, they're not supporting the system anymore, but we understand we're just trying to get a little bit of time. Hopefully the system will last until we get all 3 years. And they made a motion right there to amend it from 5 to 15,000. We thought, that's not that bad. That was the only article that passed. The budget didn't pass.
Yeah.
8 or 9 other warrant articles didn't pass, and it passed by 1 vote. So,
So work to be done for sure.
So, do you see one of these as being more of a priority?
You know, I think it follows directly from what Mark was saying, is that the idea of setting out something for our patrons. Now, still have 500 some people on our MailChimp list. That's a select group who've wanted to be there. They've been people who've stuck close by us. And there might be some early information that goes out to them, but I think the endowment part of this is really where we want. We've already fashioned I didn't bring any yet, just leery about getting too far ahead of the train here, but we've got a very nice trifold that at some point we'll send out to a select group of our donors, and we'll probably put some on here in the front desk. And so that's probably number one by those.
I'm trying to help buy a lottery ticket every week.
All efforts are appreciated.
If I win, we'll get some.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Roger.
Thanks, Roger.
Keeping us in the loop, but
We appreciate the incredible amount of work you do. Like,
Yes, big up for all of you raised over the years.
the history sounds.
Well, I think it's a project. The number of places around town that will want a library. We better, it's what.
thank you.
It is true, society doesn't display.
All right.
Well,
Move us right along to accepting the donations in the amount of $649.75.
I make a motion to accept the donation.
All right, all in favor?
I,
Okay. And moving on to the treasurer's report. So the checking account, we earned 9 cents in interest. That's about the going rate these days, not 8 to 9 cents, depending on the month of how many days. And the CDs, we accumulated $161.96 in interest. And then end of Q1, I just wanted to update you on our 2 trust funds. So the AC Wood Trust Fund has $1,005.54 in it. And again, a reminder that at December of each year that we get to take anything beyond the initial 1,000 used for library books. And then the library tech capital reserve, we have $5,576.40. Those were end of Q1 numbers. So next on the list is QuickBooks integration. Lydia has been helping me through that process. I feel like we've got it in a good place. I figured out how to do some reconciliations. So I'm still learning, but I feel like we're in a good place with that. That was a suggestion from the auditors that we integrate with QuickBooks to make things a little bit more seamless at audit time. So that is going well. And Ezra and I have been emailing, and I started kind of making these little like training modules, basically just to, so we aren't spending hours and hours and hours trying to trying to teach him how to do this and trying to make it a little bit more seamless so that he can have this information, look back on it later with questions or whatever. So that's going well.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent the email.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I will.
I'll reach out to her and see.
Yep.
I did it about that.
I think that's pretty much it for the treasurer's report. So I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report as discussed.
I accept.
So.
I'll second it.
Communicating by everyone. All right, we can accept it. I mean, second. Okay, give me a second.
Yes. Treasurer announced, yes, I-
All right, well, I have a question. You mentioned that $1,000. I don't see that listed anyplace.
So the ANC would, that's the trust fund that's handled by the trustees.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So I just try and check in with them at the end of each quarter to get the amounts of how much we have in the fund. So between the ANC wood and the library tech capital reserve, I just want to make sure that we're kind of tracking what those numbers are at the end of each
I
quarter.
wonder if she wanted it for the library, how the trustees of the trust fund would get it instead of the library trustees.
Because it would have happened many, many, many years ago before they were library trustees. So it was just given as a gift to the library and
All right,
so,
all
yeah.
right, I'll second the motion to
Thank
accept
you.
the treasurer's report.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Select board liaison, so Dan will continue on as our select board liaison for this upcoming year. That was voted on the last select board meeting and he is absent, so we will skip over that section.
I was just with Sandy before this meeting and she thought he was coming.
Oh, maybe he'll make a cameo. All right. Moving right along, director's report, Lydia.
Okay. So the major things were updating these two policies. And were you able to open it and read the changes you were? Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw,
I saw the change that said, oh, that said, so librarians are not meant to watch Ezra's children.
Said to the father.
didn't say Ezra. So I just needed to have you all vote on whether you're gonna adopt these or not.
They pretty straightforward to me. I thought the changes made sense and I like how you cleaned up some of the wording and make things a little shorter in certain sections.
Yeah,
So to make sure I understand it, if a child is 10 years old or older, the parents can drop them off there. How's that working?
that's pretty standard for all libraries. We haven't had any problems since I've been here. They had a little bit of an issue, and that's kind of why we changed it, because we don't have that playground right next door anymore. So we cannot let them outside here. So that's why I chose to change this. In particular.
But we have a lot more room than we used to. Inside.
Yes, but I'm saying that, apparently they used to let the kids go play on the playground, waiting for their parents,
Oh,
and. When you know, even not this year.
On the class, 125. For the parents. Feels like the wrong business. So.
Right.
Good choice.
The other thing that I took note of was if a child doesn't get picked up in the 6 o'clock, which was an issue when I was teaching, except we didn't charge. But sometimes it would be hours.
Just lock them in the
by
pod.
parents.
And that's one of the reasons why we had to change that part of it too, was because it cost the town or library twice as what was in the policy for 2 staff members to be here until the parents came.
Right, and I think that's really important for parents to know, which will make them try harder to get here on time.
But we also want the trustees to know that we're not going to be leaving any children here, waiting outside for the parents.
No, and it needs to be 2 adults because.
Yeah, because the policy is to have to be 2 employees here.
Yep.
At all.
Yeah.
well, if you got taking care of a child that's not relatively, so it was safe to have two, this anyway, just for.
Yeah. Yep.
Protection.
Just in case.
And then the staffing update is we've chosen a candidate. I have got two very positive, references got back to me. I'm still waiting on one more. But I have no doubt that it's gonna come back good. So I'd like to offer her the job and have her start on Monday, April 27th.
Yeah, sounds great.
Would be great.
Also about some psychology for us quite a lot, but. So I guess she's doing that, so she's happy with part-time work.
So really, she works full-time, for the cooperative middle school in Stratham. And so she said she wants to supplement her income for right now. But her goal is to step away from full-time employment and drop down to part-time. So she was
This part-time,
this part-time.
that's important.
So she's just gonna be able to work Saturdays until school's out?
So she's going to work, she doesn't get out of work till 2:30, so she's gonna be a few minutes late every day. Because it takes that long to get from there from here. But we can work around that and she'll make it up on Saturday. So we were gonna do a rotating schedule so that that person coming in wouldn't have to work every single Saturday. But in order for us to be able to get the hours that we need, she's willing to work every Saturday. Yes. So
Does she have children?
she had a daughter in Brown.
Oh, okay, yeah, so.
She lives in Stratford. But I ended up having to post the job on Indeed, and I had a million resumes. But we did 3 interviews, and Jen was the one that closely matches more of the skills that we needed to have. No.
Yeah, I think someone could work on that.
Well, yeah, really helped a lot. And then I also wanted to just remind you that I'm gonna be on vacation from April 30th to May 10th. Going back to the Outer Banks. I go every year.
Nice.
Nice.
Go fly your airplane, kitty goes.
That's right.
Think about you when they do books and.
I know. So the lighting was fixed, the doors, the paddles are all set.
Are they?
Yeah, 'cause they came and fixed it after I sent this. So yes, the paddles are working, the security systems are working on with that. What they did was they had to put a new switch so that we don't have to manually unlock the door every morning. We just hit the switch and it unlocks it.
Okay.
And
Now,
that now it communicates.
So can anybody hit the switch now? What?
On the inside the vestibule.
Oh, okay.
And we had our threat training yesterday.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So that's what they're calling it now.
what's that?
So much better than what we used to call it.
Yes. That was very interesting and fun. It was actually kind of fun. Barrington Police came and shot us with Nerf balls.
It's a shot. I was like, oh, I got tased just for that. It's going to
What's that?
So I've gone to that, but that's a number of ones today. So I missed it yesterday.
And they offer it throughout the year, so we probably will do it a couple times a year, especially bringing new people on. I think we'll try to do it again towards the end of the year.
To tell you the truth, I thought about that when, reading about kids being dropped off here without their parents, and if they were caught up in that kind of a situation, there would be more anxiety and that, so. It is what it is.
Right. I mean, the likelihood is very, very slim, but you always want to be prepared for it.
Definitely.
What else did? So the,
Another few questions.
Yeah.
The lights out outside. About this time.
Oh, we just changed it. Amy and I figured out how to change the timer on it.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, so.
When they did it, when Peter came and did it in the fall, we took a video of him doing it. So I said to Wendy, I said, we have to figure out how to change that time. So they're supposed to come on at 7 and go off at 5:30 in the morning.
Seven up there, it's a little early when it gets to be July and August, June, July, and August, but that's okay, better early than late, so.
Right now. It's not, it's getting dusk then.
That's good.
And it's not, the way those lights are set up, I don't think it's gonna bring that much electricity.
Well, it's better than them coming on at 4.
Right. I mean, that's, yeah. Watch it, 7, 8, yeah, that's fine.
So right now they're expecting to come on at 7 PM and go off at 5:30 AM.
Now you know how to set it, so you can change
We had
it.
to go by the video.
But you got
I told her, I said, whatever you do, don't delete that video. So when you drive by, you can let us know whether they were coming on at the right time.
All right.
The roofing contractors came back. But they will be back to start ripping it off and make sure there's enough ice and water shield and that the flashing's up to par. Okay. And then the clips on the solar panels were fixed. And Jack's been here monitoring it. The light bill was down considerably, right? So we're hoping that's gonna be good. And Jim and Mike took water samples today to get the water.
Is that something that happens annually or,
Yes.
okay,
They're doing it of the regular things, not just the special still water bottle fountain.
I think they took samples of both. And we just replaced the filter in this, water bubbler. And then it filters both the one that you drink right out of the fountain and the bottle. And any other questions?
all right, so I'm gonna ask for 2 motions. The first one is going to be to adopt the 2 new policies as rewritten. And like to make that motion, I'll make that motion, okay?
Second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So,
And second one will be to accept the director's report.
motion to accept the director's report.
I'll second it.
All right. Very much. All right, moving along, old business. We already talked about the handicap access. portal. Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes, Shannon. Thank you. Yes, Shannon, you're up.
I got to be, I'm sorry, right, we start back in Portland. Tuesdays are busy day in Portland. So. There's lots of refugees through. I mean, very concerned people. All legal residents. So thank you for understanding.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I will feel come here more regularly because I used to have to decide whether to come here to the school board. So Tracy's going to do the school board. They should do it 9 months.
Excellent. We're glad to have you again for another session, another year.
Another year.
Right, I'm gonna move on to old business, so.
You have to bring up from 1,000.
There's really nothing we haven't addressed.
Okay.
Since the built place, we could have.
Anything for the town that we got to know of?
Yeah. I don't think there's anything.
Okay.
We're moving right along.
Good.
Other folks, the other. Flat for the rest of the year, hopefully. I don't know.
Yes.
I think, I guess, let me bring up a point. The capital reserve account. next in this election. We're thinking, this is being on the EDC as well, that the numbers that we had here, what was it 5,000 or 10,000?
Oh, it was to get 15
Yeah,
left from the leftover funds from the building.
right. That's okay, we solved that problem. But I think if you're gonna put money into the capital reserve, I just put that into the operating budget. It's, we're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, talking 5,000, maybe even up to 10,000. It's probably better to put it in the operating budget then, because it's more likely to get included. in that.
The plan is about 5,000.
Yeah, yeah, so putting that into the operating budget, I think it, first of all, it fits into the operating budget, I think. This money gets moved pretty rapidly as opposed to, we're not looking at 10, 15 years down the road where most of the capital reserves on. And secondly, tactical standpoint, it's easy to mix that if you're a voter and you're looking down that whole list of capital reserves. Just look for the middle of that one, because it's not very much, and it's pretty easy to put in the operating budget, where I really think it belongs anyway. I think that that's just suggestions, not a.
It's a great suggestion. Okay, thank you.
Good stuff. All right, so old business, handicap access pad, we already talked about. Fencing along Route 125. I know we have a subcommittee for that. Richard's part of that. I'm guessing you don't have any updates yet, or? Oh,
I do.
Robert, thank you.
I talked to 125 fence company, I started with them first, we came out and they did an estimate, and I have that here.
Okay.
And I talked to Connor, and the way that I can't, the word is when you go off the bids, I guess. If it's under 15,000, we could get just three estimates and then pick the best one. If
Okay.
it's over that, it needs to go out for an open seal bid. This one came in under that, so I'm going to another one, our time getting back, but he's supposed to meet me tomorrow, when I walk it to get the second one.
Okay, great.
And then I've got to find a third one. If I can, fence company of Barrington, Nashua, Salem, Massachusetts, the way the Google works would be. I'm trying to find a third one anyway.
Have you tried Central Fence?
Where are they at?
They're out of Summersworth.
Okay, because I Googled,
I did the same thing. I put a fence in last summer and I had the same issue, but I can say that I used Central Fence and I thought that they were very reasonably priced. They were able to turn around my installation in about 4 weeks. So,
Okay, I'll check with them.
okay,
But it came in, installing the fence from all the way down here, and then we have to do a little juggle it around that tree a little bit, and then come up, and then they go straight to where the kind of kink in the building is, a little indention where it comes out a little bit. So that'll be nice, because that way the three, whatever those three holes are over there, or those full sewer, okay. So, and then we talked about a gate earlier, but I talked to Lydia, and the gate's gonna be, pretty close to $1,200 extra for a gate. And we're thinking, do we need a gate for 3 or 4 times a year that the lawnmower goes through that? I mean, he can do this, and he has to be around the front anyway. And it just doesn't seem to make sense to pay that extra for a gate that's only been used 3 or 4 times a year. And if the gate's there, then it's liable to have kids go up that way, so it's gonna be harder to control them anyway. So I'm thinking without the gate. So without the gate, it comes in to be 13,133 is this one.
Mhm.
And that's the same as this fence. Installed 8 beams. Okay, so it should be, it'll be nice. Yeah, so I'll see what the other ones are. By next month, I hope to have the other 2 estimates too.
okay, great. Thank
And
you.
then we can figure out how we're gonna pay for that.
What kind of fence is that?
Same thing.
This one, this was from the same people who did that one, so it's gonna be
Okay.
just like that.
That's good.
And I told the other ones, when they cut, he said, what kind of fence do you want? I said, as close as we can get, that's what we had. So when the other guy comes, I'll show him that and say, as close as we can get to that one and see what his estimate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they looked similar or the same, it just would kind of make it all.
Yep.
Those together.
Mhm.
And they put in here, 125 Fence Company is a aluminum small business. So anyway,
That's great.
Really bad.
Thank you for.
I'll price them for 10 days from the date of the contract. 2% down, balance upon completion. Anyway, that's what.
Great.
Finish your work up.
Yes. All right, recruiting for open trustee alternate spots. I'm guessing that haven't made a whole lot of progress. I was going to suggest, like I know Debbie is, she lives in that big neighborhood behind the town hall. I didn't know, maybe she had like a Facebook group. A lot of those neighborhoods have something like that. I was gonna see, maybe we could kind of start thinking about other ways to connect with people and find more people that want to, be part of what the.
Every Facebook page and.
That's Wyatt, she's leaving, I want to say at this point, she's tutoring. She lives in the same neighborhood at the house. Or advice with the house. But touch base with her, she might be interested.
Thank you. That was great.
Well, back in the past, Richard was supposed to follow up with the person that had the contacted. He put a Lowe's, one of them to see what, they were supposed to have a grant or something,
Okay,
so I don't know where he's at, but.
yeah.
hopefully-
I'll reach out to him. I might need to call him. He has not responded to any of my emails lately. Have you seen him lately? You have? Okay.
And I told him that,
It's wild.
people were trying to get a hold of him and I don't know if he was not seeing it on his phone or,
Okay.
yeah,
Why?
I might volunteering here. I think he changed it to Thursdays.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk by us.
Go times up and down 25.
Was he one that said he wasn't gonna be here tonight?
I didn't hear from him.
Oh,
That's okay. If I don't connect with him in person here on Thursday, I'll just give him a call and see if we can figure out if I need to text him or something. I'll gladly do that. All right. I have on here a strategic plan and talking about core values. I think if it's okay with you guys, I think I'm just gonna skip over that and we can talk about it as a bigger group and we have more people here. I think that would be a good next step for us talking about what we want to see now that we have our new building, now that we've done all of this work. What do we want to do in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years and kind of coming up with that plan, but I feel like we need more trustee input on that. So I'm gonna just put it on here as a placeholder for next month, along with the annual review of the non-public minutes that I discussed. Okay, all right.
Maybe.
Yep.
And Joe.
Okay. Excellent. All right, so books in bloom, I have a book in mind for our trustee contribution. It's a newer book that actually Lydia had added. You had added a bunch of copies to the digital. So I saw it and I was like, oh, that would actually be perfect. So it's called The Sunflower House. And I just think it's going to be really, it'll be pretty and it'll be easy for me to kind of throw together a bouquet.
Walls, kind of walls.
Yeah, I'm gonna order these. I'm gonna order these from,
Oh, okay.
yeah, some dwarf ones, because the vase that I got, the vase I got is like the shape of a book. And it's kind of short, so they can't be that tall, the whole thing.
Are you gonna take it on Wednesday when they're doing it?
Yes, that's the May 6th.
Bring
Right?
your
So
son.
I'm just gonna bring it.
Yep.
Yep. All right, and then lastly, for old business, NHLTA conference, we have, let's see, we have 3 signed up, is that right? We have 5, okay.
Lydia, Cut, Karina, Robert,
Mhm.
Richard, and I.
Okay, excellent. I will not be able to attend. Date conflicts with my trip to Ireland. So
Oh, you're very
Choices, yeah.
It's a toss up.
You're gonna pick Ireland over Trustee meeting? Oh, wow.
I'll be there next year,
How long you do,
a week.
It's a genealogy while you're over there for?
Actually, that's why my husband wants to go, is because like, it's his like dream to look back on some of this genealogy, so.
That's someone gonna look up Kelly's and Henry's, some other ones, just like looking up Smith's in the United States. The records don't even show where they were born. I got marriage certificates and it's like a woman's place of birth, Dover, Stratford, New Hampshire, man's place of birth, Ireland. It's right there on the form. That's correct.
Like, I did go to Ireland many years ago with a friend to find his family,
Yeah,
so I'll talk to you about that.
yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. I was a little nervous about this, about the whole fuel shortage, but I'm gonna just have faith that it's gonna be okay. All right, so as far as the NHLTA conference, do you guys think that you'll, is everyone just gonna handle their own getting there? Do carpooling like we've done before?
Well, I talked to Carolina and I live in Elliott and it's closer for me just to go somewhere.
Yeah, that makes
So I
sense.
drove myself last year.
Okay. What about you, Lydia C?
I'd love to carpool with people. I have a pretty good sized car. I don't mind driving.
She said she'd be right.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, so between you guys that are attending, just figuring out the getting there will be good. And I think other than that, we're all set, right?
Yeah, we're all registered and paid for and.
Thank you for taking care
Yes.
of them.
Thank you so much.
We'll take you back to come.
Yes. And then what we've done in the past, and you guys have all been to that conference before, but you know, we usually everyone kind of like goes to the different ones and then maybe comes back and reports to the meeting. So again, I'll leave you guys to that. I've done it before. All right, that's pretty much all for old business. And then for new business, Lydia asked me to add the Landscape Committee Master Gardener Grant to the agenda. So Lydia, you're on.
Okay, so I was awarded the $200 toward creating a sensory garden at the library. So I guess, and it was like when I wrote the grant, it was pretty specific, like what plants I'm getting. It's like for a portion of the sensory garden, so it was kind of focusing on sound. So and one thing too that I had to do was have a soil test of the garden. So I actually did that already. I haven't gotten the results yet, but I did drop it off at UNH. So that was like number one and that was like $20. So I mean, that's out of the grant. So so it was a $200 grant, and you know, I did put specific items. I had a meeting last night actually about it online, and just about how to record. And I guess like you can change a little bit of some of the things, but it's basically was a lot of like sound and a couple of taste, like with adding some blueberry bushes, strawberry plants, etc. So and then the friends have given us a yearly $500 toward creating the gardens. So the only other thing, Lydia, that I had put in the grant was that the library would help maybe with some signage and with with letting the public know about it, so
Yeah.
I thought that would be okay. But I guess that you probably, the other thing is, and I didn't know how people feel about this, is they have like a little sign that says something like Master Gardener Grant, if that's okay to put in the garden or not. I don't know how people feel about it. I guess that people, like if organizations say no, then that's okay. But if it's okay to put like a little sign that says, Master Gardener Grant sign in there, we can do that. But I don't know.
Things that we've gotten for donations and things like that. So I think we should absolutely include signage. Yeah.
So I guess I would need a vote that it's like that where the trustees are accepting the grant. the $200 grant, but that it has, there are specific plants that I have to purchase with the funds.
So do I have a motion to accept the $200 grant as Lydia has described?
I make a motion to accept the $200 Master Gardening grant.
Okay.
I'll second.
Nice.
Thank you for doing all of that work, Lydia.
Yes.
It wasn't that hot. And then after I went and watched last night, I said, maybe I should ask for some more. No, because some people had like $1,000 grants and things. I said, oh, maybe I should have asked for a little more. But, anyways, no, but it was a start. So I can do it next year too.
I guess like we've done that, yeah.
Could be.
Things. Yeah.
They have corn, bean and squash. So that's-
Oh. Yeah. That's not big.
That's what I did.
That's great. And Lydia, do you have anything from the Friends to share?
Yes. And I apologize if you hear background background noise. I do have some teenagers here with friends at my daughter's house where I'm babysitting. So anyways, so the just reminder about Books in Bloom, that the arrangements will be on display the 7th and 8th of May. So please come in and see them. There'll all be arrangements that are inspired by a book, and they will be on display in the library. And then you can actually bid earlier. You can bid those days for an arrangement. And then on the Saturday, the bidding will continue, as well as you can come in and just purchase a flower arrangement for Mother's Day, or for any loved one that you have, or you can make your own. We'll have a little make your own table that we thought might appeal to children. So we'll have that on the Saturday from 10 to 12, the day before Mother's Day. And then the other thing is that our plant sale's coming up. And so setup is June 5th. Starting at 10 o'clock in the morning at the library. We're going to have the plant sale at the backyard of the library. And June 6th is the plant sale from 8 to 12. I mean, we always love help. And the other thing is if anybody has gardens that they're dividing plants, need help dividing plants, that we always need plants. So that's another something. And Lydia, I'll email you tomorrow. I was wondering if that could be in the newsletter about the plant sale for May, as well as Books in Bloom. So yeah, great. I don't know if there's any questions. Carolina also knows all about this.
Yeah.
It was kind of hard to.
Oh, of course, just.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Lydia.
you.
All right, last thing is, before we adjourn is there a need for us to go into non-public? No?
No.
Right. Well, unless there's anything else, then I am going to ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to go in the meeting.
I'll second this.
Thank you all very much. I'm going to pass around this from Wendy.
Yes. Bye, Lydia.
Bye. Thank you.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I can stand Johnson.